At this time of year, when the days become shorter than the nights, the veil between this world and the next becomes thinner. The fairies, the tiny winged creatures, are restless, and the spirits of the dead return to roam the earth. Before the Romans came here 2,000 years ago, the people of Britain believed such things.
The heart, hand in hand, mark, O Spirit, and hear us now, confirming this, our sacred vow.
The modern world has turned these pagan traditions into Halloween, but the ancient beliefs persist.
From the Lady Cherudin, her gracious gifts from upland and plain, we thankfully take the fruit and the wine.
In this part of England, the past is more present than the present, and the unnatural seems thoroughly natural. For people who live here, it's easy to believe in occult forces and mysterious powers. It's part of the landscape. The west of England is littered with silent monuments of people and cults whose origins are lost in the mists of time.
There was a very strong ancient religious tradition which worshipped the sun, the moon and nature. Druidism is a survival of what was an ancient, very open religion, which only became secret because it was driven underground.
And monuments of a legendary king who would one day return to save Britain in its hour of need.
Well, I'm King Arthur, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm 1,538 years old.
Deep in the bowels of the earth, where water can be turned into stone, run elemental forces of nature that certain individuals believe they can harness.
I don't call myself a witch, let's get that start. I regard myself as a high priestess of the ancient art of the wise, the ancient craft of the wise. I am also an archdruidess.
Few people outside the circle of believers are allowed to see their secret places deep inside the woods.
The only reason we're blindfolding you is not for any paranoid sense of secrecy, but this place has never been seen on film. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Just some breathing space.
Right, if I just bring you up here, Tom.
We should all just be taking our clothes.
In a grotto sacred to them alone, modern druids gather for a midnight revelry. Ancient beliefs are bubbling up in modern Britain like a witch's brew. The druids are drawn by what they believe is spiritual magnetism to certain spots marked by megalithic monuments. Here they perform the secret ceremonies of their nature worship.
So mote it be.
By day, they practice what they preach, protecting nature, promoting green causes, and planting trees. One of their fundamental beliefs is reincarnation. A strange figure makes the pilgrimage to Glastonbury Tor, the legendary Avalon, for a ceremony with his court wizard.
I, by my ancient family name Merlin, and right as Archdruid of Britain, I, Merlin Rollo, call upon thee, Arthur Pendragon. Dost thou swear to uphold the ancient virtues of truth
To speak the truth,
and of justice?
to be just and fair in all thy dealings.
When he is not being a wizard, Merlin, who is actually descended from a family of that name, is a modern playwright and medical hypnotist. The man who says he is now King Arthur was a stonemason with a certified genius IQ until he had an identity crisis and legally changed his name. So when did you decide that you were King Arthur?
Nearly 7 years ago now.
Yeah, but I can imagine you running into a cop and saying that I'm King Arthur, and he said, yeah, and I'm the Queen of England.
Yeah, it happens, but then I just throw my passport at him and say, well, it's there.
Your passport?
Yeah, my name is actually Arthur Pendragon. My signature is Arthur Rex, and I'm known to the police as King Arthur.
Jackie is known to her neighbors as another eccentric.
And this purifies the sacred space I'm working in.
Today she's casting a spell for a composer friend who is recovering from tuberculosis.
Now placing down 3 cards. This card represents his past. This is his present. And this is his future. Michael's a musician. He likes to travel the world. He likes to play his music and give his magic to other people. Now I'm going to focus my intent into this crystal ball.
Witches, of course, are usually thought of as old hags with a crooked nose, wearing pointed hats and riding on broomsticks and casting evil spells on innocent people. You don't exactly fit the picture, do you?
Well, I don't believe in all the hocus pocus, I'm afraid. Witchcraft, the craft of the wise, is a healing craft.
How did you discover this gift?
I got quite confused at one point, thinking, well, you know, I'm seeing things slightly different to other people. But then somebody said to me, well, you know, accept the fact that you are like this. And there are names, there's the name. You can, you know, you could call yourself a witch. You could call yourself a druidess. And there's been many, many before you. And you're not alone. And it's okay.
And so, as Halloween approaches, the message from this magic corner of Britain is, it's okay to be a witch. It's even okay to believe that you are King Arthur of Camelot, despite the fact that you were buried here 1,538 years ago, if you ever existed at all.